What is going on? All right, to you Scorpios out there. So, you Scorpios have the Four of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Excuse me. So, for you Scorpios, right, you realize that people are going to be very hard headed when it comes to trying to get to know them, right? Because honestly speaking, the best thing for you Scorpios to do is to reject them, right? When you're talking to them, getting to know them, and they're acting like, oh, they're uninterested, the best thing for you to do is to move forward and just be like, okay, well, feeling is mutual. It is what it is, right? Don't get upset. Don't be mad. Don't, you know, wild out. Don't do any of that goofy nonsense. Just move forward. Because the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Cups represents, you know, there's a lot of people who get off on the idea of trying to get you Scorpios mad and upset, and get you Scorpios to start tripping out and start thinking, well, what exactly is going on? And honestly, the best thing that I can really suggest to you Scorpios, and this is next level that a lot of you don't understand, but this is what I've been saying over and over and over again, is to honestly get used to really hanging out by yourself. Do your own thing. Get used to hanging out by yourself, because see, we're living in a time right now where social media has really made a lot of dysfunctional people, made them feel like they were somebody. And I know that sounds like wild to say that, but it's the truth. It made a lot of people who don't really have any kind of value to share with other people, with all these views and likes and comments and stuff like this. It's made a lot of dysfunctional, you know what I'm saying, like dysfunctional, definitely ignored bums just pop up and have some sort of a following out of nowhere, in certain cases, and now they feel like they're somebody, right? So we're living in a time right now where really the happiest people in the world are people who don't really care whether or not they're in a relationship. And as a matter of fact, they're living such a good life to the point where a relationship is actually a downgrade. Because for the most part, that's what most relationships are. Like, what exactly is a person truly going to bring to the table for you, Scorpios, that really is like you willing to kind of let go of being single to be in a relationship with them for? What is that type of person going to bring to the table? What are they going to do? What? Talk about the kind of romantic fun that y'all are going to have, which is a bait. Whenever, see, this is why it is. Oh, I'm getting into it. Oh, see, the reason why it is that you don't want to fall for all of that, like romantic talk and all that other type of stuff, if you catch my drift, right? Is because a lot of that stuff is a setup. A lot of that stuff is really like something to get you to be goaded or baited into interacting with them, so that then when they feel like you baited enough, right, you in deep enough, now all of a sudden they change directions on you. Yeah, they start doing that. That's why it is that you're not supposed to get caught up with all the antics, right? As I said before, the best thing for you Scorpios to do is to continue to do what it is that you do now. Stay single if you're single. Get to know a lot of different people. Date with intentions, right? When you find somebody that actually has value, date with intentions. But at the same time, you have to really feel them out and see what type of time they on. You're not testing them. You're not doing any of that goofy stuff. All it is that you Scorpios are doing is really just paying attention to see if they're serious or not, while you show them some form of value. And if they're coming into the door already giving you a hard time, then you don't have to engage with them. You ain't got to hang out with them. You don't. If you establish in your life as good as it should be, you're doing your own thing. The King of Pentacles and the King of Wands right here is about how, because everybody want to come into the situation thinking that they slick, that they too smart, that, you don't know what they're doing. And it's like, no, but you Scorpios do, right? Like in Scorpio, y'all invented game. Like, what are we talking about right now? So the King of Wands is about how you can see all of that nonsense coming. You see all of that. They're just in denial about what it is that you Scorpios see. But you Scorpios know good and well what it is that you see. Y'all know that these people are a waste of time, and all they're going to do is get you on your nerves and wild out on you, right? And play all kind of mind games with you and stuff like this and make problems. This is why a lot of people right now are very, very unhappy, getting their goofy behinds up on the internet, talking about how unhappy they are. So then why don't you stop playing the game? Stop playing it. Stop playing the game. But they don't want to stop playing the game. So we're going to clown you every time you know what I'm saying? Like, like to those people, us over here, we're gonna laugh at you every time when you bring your big goofy butt up on the internet to complain about you losing at the game that you won't stop playing, which you have all the choice in the world to stop, but you choose not to, right? So a lot of you Scorpios need to essentially, you Scorpios see the games for how people are trying to play it. There's probably somebody that tried to talk to you recently and you was able to see straight through that, and you Scorpios is like, nah, it's a dub. You don't want to have anything to do with them because of how they carry themselves. The way that they interacting with you immediately right then and there was not a way to interact with you. They call themselves trying to get to know you, but then at the same time, the way that they're doing is by being combative, building tension, all this other type of goofy nonsense, right? Building tension just means that they're trying to get on your nerves. They're doing a bunch of goofy nonsense, right, to get you upset. But then they wonder why it is that people are like, nah, it's a dub for me. No, thank you. Because no matter how many times people like myself keep telling them, we don't like that, they refuse to listen. Scorpio, they're probably a little bit touched in the head. So the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Cups right here is about how, and you Scorpios know what it feels like in the past to not get any kind of results. To play games, right? Get your heart broken, or try to play games, get your heart broken, to being honest, still getting your heart broken, right? Honest and wanting a relationship and getting your heart broken. Now you Scorpios don't care whether or not you should want it, whether or not you should be in a relationship or not. If you find yourself in one, great. Date with intentions and see how far it goes. They want to play games with you and waste your time? Cool. It is what it is, right? You don't care one way or the other. It's the indifference is one of the most empowering things that you can ever implement into your lifestyle, is nonchalantness. The philosophy of not holding on to anything or anyone too tightly. That's the best thing that you Scorpios can implement for yourself, because it takes the chip off of your shoulder of needing to compete. You learn how to surrender. You learn how to surrender the things that don't work for you. It frees you up from a lot of the nonsense, and it puts your mind at ease. You put yourself at peace and at ease when you develop the philosophy of don't hold on to anything or to anyone too tightly. Like an airbender from the show The Avatar, The Last Airbender. Learning how to attain freedom by letting go of this earthly crap and the nonsense that people do that keep them binded to this thing. People's egos is getting hurt out here. Not even them, but their ego will get bruised. Why? Because they want to play people. But when you free yourself up from all of that and you're like, you know what? You don't care whether or not you're in a relationship. And that being single 90 to 95% of the time is a better deal than being in a relationship. What happens? Now everybody's trying to figure out, well, why is it that you're so content to be a single Scorpio? And the answer is simple. If you're a decent person, Scorpio, this is why I said it's time for you to get right with yourself. Decent people, 9 times out of 10, the true reality of the situation is their singlehood is priceless. And that a person has to show you and tell you why being in a relationship with them and giving up your singlehood is actually more beneficial to you in the long run, that will compensate even for your own singleness. And your singleness was already the top 90%, the top 10%, or whatever ratio you want to make. But the point that I'm trying to make here with that is being single is your key. That is your answer, Scorpio. And enjoy your singlehood. And stop being so caught up and enraptured with trying to be in a relationship in the first place. If you can get into one, great. But if people want to make it difficult on you, who cares at the end of the day? That's where I am with mine. I'm not trying to be in a relationship here. And even if I do go overseas and I don't find a relationship, that's fine too, because I'm not running around desperately looking for somebody. I'm not going overseas in particular to find someone else in particular. I'm really going overseas to start over. I'm tired of hanging around the majority of people trolling all day and trying to get on my nerves and getting upset and acting like they're, you know what I'm saying? Displaying low IQ and being stupid and acting like they got a mental problem and all this other type of goofy nonsense. Like, I ain't got time for that. You know, I'd rather really just at my own convenience be in a different country and blend, and maybe not necessarily blend in, but be at peace, because nobody is bothering me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. Every minute of the day I talk to somebody and it's like they playing stupid, they getting on like they don't know what I'm talking about, they're jumping around like a circus clown, like a freak, trying to constantly get attention and garner attention and all this goofy nonsense. Like, I would literally, real talk, I would literally rather do that than constantly have to engage with a bunch of emotionally illiterate idiots. And not everybody is like that, because I'm not trying to make it seem like everybody is like that. I know what it is I'm saying can be offensive. But how many times, Scorpio, have you Scorpios been like this, where you Scorpios have been sincere and getting to know other people, and all it is that they can seem to do is tell you why it is that they don't want to hang out with you? And it's such a stupid game. They don't want to hang out with you, but who is the type of people who they will hang out with? Jerks that humiliate them. Then they want to fake cry with the fake outrage. I went ahead and I was so committed to the person. Well, why were you committed to a person that wasn't really taking you serious like that, shawty? On either side, regardless of whatever you into, right? So a lot of you Scorpios, y'all should be tired by now with the merry-go-round, right? So stay single. That is the secret. Your singlehood should be so powerful. It should be so good to the point where it really does. It really, like, being in a relationship really does hinder you. And that a person has to legitimately show you why and tell you why being in a relationship with them would be more advantageous to them than being single. And and see, that's what I'm talking about. You coming to that decision on giving up your singlehood to be in a relationship should be a difficult decision. It should be a difficult decision. If a person, unless that person is bringing something valuable to you, they're working themselves, they understand the fine art of reciprocation, they can help make you richer, their spirituality and their spiritual value is on point, so it's not like they don't have integrity. They do have integrity. They actually are willing to respect you, value you. They want to cherish time with you. They want to sit back on the bench, right? A park bench with you, and discuss how you perceive the world, and you discuss how they perceive the world, and y'all share in that first person individual perception. Don't waste your time. If they're not trying to do that, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Because so many people get bent out of shape about having to go 50-50. How are you, an adult, dry begging to force somebody else to pay for food that you choose to eat off of a menu, and then helping yourself to their pockets? What part of the game is that? So the thing is that the star card, the Lovers, and the Knight of Swords right here speaks to how a lot of you Scorpios, once again, that's the kind of quality people that you need to be hanging around. Someone that makes it easy or easier for you to be in a relationship with them. But it's not so easy because you actually legitimately enjoy your singlehood. But what they're offering is so much better to the point where you're willing to let that go. But that decision is not that easy, though. So the thing is that the Lovers and the Knight of Swords is about how you Scorpios have to essentially you get to this point by loving yourself, not being self-conceited. We're not talking about being self-absorbed. We're talking about you Scorpios getting to a point where, like I said, you ghost, you value your time, you legitimately pay attention to yourself. You become more of yourself. Forget about trying to become somebody else. You become you. Who are you on the inside? What do you like to do? I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't played it as far as physical cards in a long time. On the computer, as far as a Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing website that's free, sure. I did it yesterday. But as far as I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Beyblade. I like anime. I like staying active as much as I possibly can. Even though recently, within the past couple of years, I've had a sedentary lifestyle, I like to be as active as possible. You dig what I'm saying? I put on a lot of muscle quite easily. I like to go outside, do some pull-ups, get my workout in. I like to spend time with my family, stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? And these things legitimately are important to me. You know? So you Scorpios have to figure out some examples of who you are and what makes you you, right? What are some of the traits that you like? Let's clarify the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the World, and then you have the Hierophant to clarify the Knight of Wands. Right, because the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands represents you Scorpios should be at a point where you, again, don't force it. If it ain't working, it ain't working. If a person is playing games with you, they making it hard for y'all to have a conversation, they ghosting you, they sending all these stupid, goofy text messages, and then they put the phone down and go walk off like they done took a trip to Narnia, and you know what I'm saying, you know, because these people act like they can't get back at anybody. They put the phone down. Told y'all I'm gonna clown y'all for that when y'all do that goofy nonsense. That's goofy. And anybody who shows me that that's how they want to live is goofy too. Facts. Anyway, the Ten of Wands, the World, and the Hierophant is about how, and because of that, right, what happens, right? What exactly is really going on? The Ten of Wands. You need to oppose that narrative that has been set for you, Scorpio. You just sitting there, and the person is, you trying to get a chance to talk to them. You can't get a chance to talk to them because they always doing this and they always doing that, and they always preoccupied and all this other type of goofy stuff, right? What do you Scorpios do? What is your answer for that? You Scorpios just say, you know what, we off this. The World and the Hierophant right here is about how because your time needs to be valued. You need to value your own time. And the Hierophant represents how you need to listen to your own spirit when this type of scenario happens, when you're trying to talk to them and you can't get them on the phone, and they barely speak, and all of that nonsense is finished. All of that nonsense is played out. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Please, I'm trying to make this YouTube channel grow. We're at 13,000 subscribers. Congratulations to all of you. Appreciate y'all for getting me here to this point. Because if there was no you, there would be no me. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set that notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.